Welcome back to episode 4 of Real Women, Real Talk. Remember, we're diverse, different backgrounds, ethnicities, journeys, but we come together to talk about life. In light of who Jesus is, how do we journey through this life with everything we've walked through? Well, we're going to finish up our conversation with Barbara today. She's shared a lot with us about her journey. As we go back into this today, I want you to take some notes. Again, we want to hear from you. Women's Ministry at crcconline.org. Send us your prayer requests. Send us topics that you'd like to discuss. And don't forget, you can go online and to our website, crcconline.org, and order the Reset DVDs, the digital versions, all of that. I told you I'm old school. I'm still into DVDs. Whatever, go online and watch it. You're going to be blessed. So get ready, pencil, paper. You're ready to take some notes as Barbara wraps up today, talking about the grieving that she walked through, the journey that led to a newness, a way of seeing life, joy, and the road to recovery. Be blessed. There's a passage of scripture, and I wish I could quote it exactly right, but it's in the book of Isaiah. I want to say it's 60 or 61, but where he says, I'll do an exchange for you. I'll give you beauty for ashes, and I'll give you a garment of praise for a spirit of heaviness. In Matthew chapter 11, he says, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden. I'll give you rest. And that's the beauty of that relationship that we have with God, that I think so many of us, out of believing the lie of the enemy, like, wow, if I tell God how I really feel, he's going to strike me down with lightning. Oh, he already knows how we feel. And he knows what's going on inside of us. You know, you think about in the Bible when Jesus would come up to someone and you want to be healed? Okay, stretch out your hand. John chapter 5, the man at the pool of Bethesda, you're on this mat. Do you want to get well? And I just believe, though, that's the question, even from John chapter 5, that we hear all the time in the crux of our grief and our pain and our anger and our frustration, where the Lord is saying, you want to get well? When you're ready, I'm the great physician. I'm here, and I will hear you out. And I love it that you said you just got to that point. It's like, okay, I'm going to tell you everything. Again, John chapter 4, the woman at the well. Jesus told her everything, but she stood there and had that conversation with him. It's for us to get to that place where, okay, God, I'm just going to really tell you the truth. I'm mad. I'm frustrated. I'm lonely. I feel betrayed by you. I'm hurt. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I'm not happy. I'm not full of joy. And to get it out. And when you got it out, I love what you just said. It was like you could breathe. You felt your breathing. I see the tears in your eyes. Your breathing was different.
It was.
You felt free.
I did. It's like I was carrying this anger. And deep down, I mean, I knew. Deep down, I knew God. It was almost like I felt I had one up on him. It's like, I get to get away with this because you did this to me. And now I get to just take a step back. You know, now that I'm in the place to be able to see everything from a different perspective. And he didn't do it to me. He was doing it for me. And he gave me 2 beautiful, healthy kids, an amazing husband who, my goodness, the way that man loves God, the way that man preaches to people that are lost, and the words that just come flowing out of him. And all because I was able to finally own up, and God gave me that strength to get that out. And I mean, I still grieve my mother. I don't think grief is something that goes away.
It doesn't.
And I feel bad when I tell people, that are grieving, and I'm like, listen, you'll get better. The grief is not going to go away. You'll get better. And people look at me like, what? Like, it's not, no, grief does not.
Because the truth is, we want the grief to go away. But what you did in seeking God and allowing God to minister to you, the grief doesn't go away, but the exchange happens. That God does something with the grief. You know, as he did with Mary and Martha,
Mm-hmm.
as he has done with so many others, as he did with the disciples when the disciples came and told them that John was dead. You know, he took that time away to minister to them. And he does the same with us. We don't stop missing the loved one. To tell you, if you're grieving a lost dream, you don't stop grieving that maybe that didn't happen, but God gives you another dream.
Right.
He starts showing you, okay, well, this is really the passion I've put within you. This is really the purpose. You know, when the other sister joins us in conversation, is going to share about her divorce, is that the transition of walking through where God says, you know, lets her know, hey, look, it's going to be okay. The marriage is going to dissolve. But you know what? I'm going to restore you. And he's done it in ways that she could not have imagined. We don't walk away from the grief. We learn with God to grow and to live with it. And like you said, to see he didn't do it to me. He's doing something for me. I want to wrap with asking you this, because now seeing you in front of church, and when you first came back to church, you told me a little bit about how you found Christ the Rock. Somebody told you about Christ the Rock. I see you come into church and you rush into this women's Bible study. Y'all need to come to women's Bible study. You rush into this women's Bible study. You're engaged at the table. You're meeting ladies, and it was the question that day where you talked about, where you shared about your mom, and I got real intrigued, but I knew I was like, I can't push it right here. But I could see the pain, but I could see also the calmness. And then you shared with me, you know what, Tara, I'm going back to my mother's home.
Yep.
And you just did that in July.
I did.
How did that feel, and what else did God do to bring, you know, some other things full circle?
So I had a bit of a revisiting the actual grief phase when I came back. So I went to Nicaragua, where my mom was originally from. She left there when she was 17. But, you know, I went back. I still had aunts there. She had 2 sisters, only to find out that one of my aunts had passed from COVID, one of her sisters. They didn't want to tell me because, again, of how I was going to take it. I find out when I'm there. Okay, I handled that well. It was amazing. The trip was great. I saw, you know, where she was born, the hospital she was born in. I saw, you know, the house that she lived in, this humble home where she lived until she was 17. And I saw my kids play in the same street that she played.
Oh.
I took pictures.
Now that's breathtaking right there. Wow.
Yeah.
The same street where she played. Street. You saw your kids play there.
I saw my kids run in the same, and I could just imagine. I've seen pictures of my mom when she was small, and I could just imagine this little girl with no shoes, because it was very humble. But my kids ran those same streets, the same. My family still owns the house, so even though nobody's living in it, my kids were playing there, and it was something. I'll tell you that it was something. I enjoyed it. When I came back, I had to deal with the emotions again. I had to deal with, you know, the feeling that I know. I had to deal with it again. And it was kind of like, you know, I had to kind of repair. So I was down for a few weeks after coming back. That was in July, at the beginning of July. So I want to say for about 3 weeks, I was off. I was happy, but again, it was very real. So yeah, so I had to deal with that, and all I can say is I'm so grateful that God chose her to be my mom, to see where she came from, to see all the things that she endured to get here, and to still give us and bring us up the way that she did, with all the faith that she had, and everything that she passed on to us, that I can now, you know, become my own woman and pass on to my children. And even my husband says it. My husband speaks of my mom and he gets emotional because he says, because of her, I know God. So, and that's why I tell you that I understand God didn't do it to hurt me. He did something beyond. It was, you know, I can't take it all. He has his reasons why he called her home. You know, those are unknown to me. And I'm okay with that. But I know that he used that for me to become who I am. And I'm here now.
Gosh, what a beautiful journey. And thank you for sharing it. Thank you for being vulnerable and for sharing with so many other women and as well as even men who are watching us. They're slipping and, they're
Yeah.
peeking in while their wives are watching. But being encouraged because grief is real. But to hear your journey of walking through it and the Barbara you are now and the Barbara, as you said, you're still becoming. So I look forward to how God's going to continue to use you to minister to others. And thank you for joining Real Women, Real Talk. We'll see you next time.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. Barbara shared some things with us that I want us to remember. Grief doesn't go away. We grow around it. He didn't do it to me. He's doing it for me. And I love that Barbara got to go visit her mother's childhood home. It was healing for her. It was a different type of journey for her. And I remember before she got ready to leave, there was this trepidation. What is it going to be like? But once she got there, God did a new thing for her. And I want to encourage you that when you're in the midst of grief, when we're in the midst of pain and struggle, don't give up. Don't give in. God is a present help in the time of trouble, and He wants to journey through it with you. He's not leaving you to do it on your own. Again, we love to hear from you, Women's Ministry at crcconline.org. Topics you like to discuss, things that you want to share. We've gotten a lot of feedback of women that are being blessed by Real Women, Real Talk. So we hope to hear from you. Share your prayer requests, and don't forget, go online to the website, crcconline.org, and get the digital version of the Reset Conference. Until next time, God bless you. Real Women, Real Talk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, like the video as well as share the video and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. You can also email us at womensministry@crcconline.org. We'll see you next time.